everybody, and welcome to Marcus Made in America. So, sometimes there is some stuff on here that might hurt people's feelings. So, if you find yourself to be a person who is highly sensitive or what somebody may consider to be a snowflake, I would humbly request that you seek other entertainment and listening pleasure elsewhere. Because I would not like to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad by mistake. Because I I was gonna promise that I would not ever hurt your feelings on purpose, but I might if you do me wrong. So
Bring your mic in.
Oh, I gotta bring my mic.
Bring your
Okay.
mic. Bring your mic in a
Let's
little bit.
bring the mic in.
There you go.
Can
That's
everybody
better.
hear me now? All right. But then I have to lean into the mic. Can this come out?
Yeah. Well, can you?
Wait. There we go.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, just bring it. Get it all up in there.
All right. You
Put it all
somebody
up in
had
your
hair
face.
all over my microphone earlier, so I was like, oh. So anyway, you guys, we're also gonna rate this. We're rating this NC-17 or NR-17, or you rate it what you want. Sometimes there's profanity and talk of adult situations and stuff like that, right? So let's make it happen. Let's go and let's talk about what's going on in the world. Welcome to Marcus Made in America. So thank you for tuning in today. I live in Rochester, New York, and many of you guys know that if you're long-term listeners. Hey, Lore, how are you doing out there? I see you. So in Rochester, we have a city. That is a city. Yes. That's the status of Rochester. Unfortunately, our city is on TV for far too many not positive reasons. You know, I don't really follow local news that often. I generally watch online and international news and stuff like that. But I was watching a nationwide news thing earlier online, and well, my mayor popped up on this national news thing. I was like, oh, well, you know, Rochester, it's a medium-sized city in New York State. Nothing really to write home about except, dear God, somebody help us, please, which I am actively excuse my language, I am actively working on because I'm running for city council in Rochester. So if you live in Rochester or know anybody in Rochester, tell them November 2nd or an early voting, get out to the polls and make sure that you vote Marcus C. Williams. So I saw the mayor on the television. Well, on the internet, whatever. And I was like, wow, what the himmity haw is she doing on my national programming? So they were talking about our former mayor, Mayor Lovely Warren. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her stuff, but we're going to run her down real quick. So she's been in, I think she's in 2 terms already, maybe 3. I forget. It's been a while. So she's an African-American mayor, female. And I don't know, you guys, honestly. I get she's gotten herself into a lot of things over the last couple of years. I just really honestly, I don't know. We'll talk about it. So lately, Rochester has been all over the news for the wrong reasons, mostly because of our mayor, which is very unfortunate because we have so much to offer, and that is as far as potential goes. As far as actuality in Rochester right now, there's, well, I think one of the AWE, is that the wrestling people? Is it the AWE, Austin?
WWE?
No, not the WWE. I think it's AWE. The one where Miss Kurgel or Kurgrill or whatever. Oh my God, she's fine.
Glow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what
Hey, Barbara. Thank you for your vote. I appreciate it in advance. Yeah. Oh my goodness. She is an extremely physically fit woman. And if it wasn't for her heft, not that to say that she's large, right? But if it wasn't for her size, she could go into international fitness modeling. It's just that the international fitness models generally don't have as much muscle in the middle of their midsection. So she's got like a 8-pack, but she's like, you know, She's got like some muscles there.
Oh yeah, stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. She's phenomenal though. I love her as a fitness person, but because I follow a lot of fitness things. But yeah, man, the guy from AEW, I'm gonna just keep butchering this. Somebody, if you guys, hey, Nigel, welcome from Fairport. I think it's AEW. I'm gonna find out right now. Austin, what's it called? Is it what's it called? Wrestling, the wrestling.
Hold
people.
on, I'm looking it up.
You looking it up? Yeah, it's AEW, All Elite Wrestling. There we go. And the guy from there, he said Rochester is dismal and bland and has absolutely nothing to offer. Wow. I mean, when he said that, I don't know, you guys. It kind of, honestly, it hit home because I firmly believe in our city. I believe that we are a pretty decent city. I know we can be better. I know we can go farther. I know we can achieve more. But living here and seeing the deterioration of our city over the past 50 years due to failed policies is extremely depressing, you know? And when he said that, it's like you don't want people to be right about certain things when they say certain things, and you kind of want to defend your friends and family, but sometimes they're just not right. And honestly, our city right now is just not right. We have a downtown that is non-existent. They're trying to fill it up with a whole bunch of people that are affluent and not from Rochester. And Rochester's focuses has been legitimately on everywhere else except Rochester. I mean, they're trying to bring people out from the suburbs and from California and from other affluent places where they're either on fire or don't have any water, and people are fleeing there, or from the suburbs trying to get them to come in. And like, I'm not even talking about the suburbs, right? Because people from Brighton and Fairport don't want to move to the city. It's people from the city moving to Brighton and Fairport. I was just speaking to a driver earlier, and they were like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Do you live in the city?" They were like, no. I live in where did she say? She said Penn Yan. I said, "Well, why'd you move out there?" I said, "Was it the schools?" No, she said she moved to Pittsford. Excuse me. She said, "Yeah, I spoke to somebody else. They moved to Penn Yan." She said she moved to Pittsford. I said, "Well, why? Was it because of the schools?" She said, "Yes, 100%. I said, "Jiminy Gollity gosh." All of that and some more. That's tragic because that's what I hear from people all the time, that they're moving out of the city of Rochester to go to other places because the school district is terrible. They've got a proficiency score of Lord knows what. It's in like the low 10, 15% rate as far as proficiency. Graduation is atrocious, and the dropout rate is phenomenal. We deserve better, honestly. Hey, Mike the Man, I see you popping in. All right, I'm glad to hear that you're healing up. Be blessed and be well. So it's just sad that people want to flee the city for the suburbs because the schools are terrible. But to be honest, when the guy said that Rochester has nothing to offer, I mean, what do we have to offer? Excuse me. We've got George Eastman, right? We've got RIT, which isn't even really in Rochester now, is it? What's U of R? Henry, I mean, RIT. That's Henrietta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Rochester Institute of Technology isn't even in Rochester. So anyway, we have some serious issues with our schools in the city. Somebody's asking a question. Let's see what we've got. Bonnie, she says, is it the schools or the parent support? That's tough. Can we talk about how it's both? Can we talk about how not enough people are raising their children in a manner in which they know how to perform and behave when they go outside? Can we also talk about the fact that most people aren't instilling in their children the value and necessity of a good education and good grades? I don't know, man. This happens readily all across our age demographic. I mean, really, millennials and what is it? What's before millennial? Gen X, right? Gen X? Gen
But
X? Or,
yes.
yeah, because
Yeah.
millennials are Gen Y and Gen Z, I think. I don't know.
I think Gen
they
Z
changed
is
it.
after
Gen
millennials.
Z
I
is
think
after
that's the
millennials?
new ones that are coming up.
Is it? I thought they gave them a new name now.
They gave
I
them
have
like
no
6
clue.
names.
I know,
Don't worry
right?
about it.
So hard to keep track of it. But yeah, so what you have is you've got a couple, like 2 generations of people who are raising children who are not actually raising the children. They are letting the internet raise their children. They are letting Kim Kardashian and all her fake body parts raise their children. They are letting Nicki Minaj and all her fake body parts raise the children. They're letting um, uh, all of the music that is absolutely abhorrent raise their children. Okay. They are not being raised in the church like they used to, many of them. They are not being taught the morals and values, and they just don't have them. Hey, Debbie, I see you out there. Hey, Chris, how's it going? What you got going on there, Chris? Chris says, why can't they just be called people? People? What people? Which people? What are you talking about?
I assume he's talking about the gens,
Gen Z?
all the
The gens?
generations.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then
Well,
how are you supposed to,
it's
just say,
it's like differentiating like grandma, grandpa,
yeah,
stuff like that.
sometimes you have to talk about, age groups.
Yeah, it's because it's the age range is really what it is. Um, so when we look at stuff like this, we have a lot of things going on. And I say, well, the schools are that way really because nobody stands up, right? Like who was it? It was Bonnie said asked the question, right? Like the parents, when it comes to parent support and schools, it's not really parent support and schools. It's parents holding schools accountable. Okay. Our school district gets $1 billion a year. Okay. I think it's something ridiculous like 35 to $45,000 a year. We're like the third most funded district in the United States. I think we're behind Boston and maybe it's Washington, D.C. I'm not positive on that other one, but yeah, we're high on the list for high funding, and we've got one of the lowest turnout rates for success in the world. Like people in the middle of what would we say? The Brazilian wilderness in the Amazon rainforest have better quality education than we do and higher success rates. It's insane. I was watching this story, this documentary with this girl. She rows a boat with her little sister to school every day, 5 miles down the river, and then she has to trek another 2 miles from the river to the school and back and forth every day. And it takes them like 6 hours to get to school and back every day. It's madness. Like they wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to school to get there by what was it 9. Like it's ridiculous. And now in Rochester they're having issues. They're like, oh, kids can't walk and kids can't take the bus. Really? Have you not taught your child well enough for them to be able to walk? Or are we just too comfortable with what we have been given or what we have taken for granted now that we're having busing issues? That it's a real problem. Yeah, Nigel, I see you out there. Yeah, Fairport only spends 22,000 per child, and I think Gates Chili is like 25. So it's crazy, right? So I mean, like, and I don't know the numbers for the rest of the surrounding area, but I've checked it out before. It's really disappointing what's going on with the school system, but because we're turning out nothing, our city is gaining nothing. I mean, I guess I'm a success story from Rochester City Schools. I graduated from them, but it's because I had that desire and drive, and I had some moral compass with some values and stuff. And even though I had an extremely rough childhood and stuff like that, I still fought to succeed regardless of my circumstances, and I did. I mean, a real issue is the schooling process. Everything's disinterested and everything like that. But I really don't want to dive deep into schooling. Okay, we can talk about that later. It's just honestly, it's insane. The fact that our city does not have enough businesses and businesses are closing left and right. There's no small business support really. There's a couple of excuse me, there's a couple of small initiatives out there to help small businesses that the city has, but they're poorly funded. I think we've got what we got. Redco and the office of oh my goodness, Dr. Lomax is going to be so disappointed. I don't remember his office. But Dr. Lomax, I did not forget that you said that you need more people and more money. When I get elected to city council, I will do my damnedest to get you all the money that you need, so that you can help further businesses and business development in our city for small and local businesses. I think it's very important the work that you're doing. Thank you. I think it's the office of I don't know, something. Who knows? They call it we've got a million offices, 10 of them sound redundant. But aside from that, we don't have a lot. I was reading a story in the news the other day. They said that they had it was wine and chocolate bar. Do you know the wine and chocolate bar, Austin? So
No, that's a place.
it was a place. So apparently these people from California came to Rochester to open a wine and chocolate bar because they heard that the rent or something was cheap. I don't know. It makes no sense. I mean, I didn't watch the interview with them. I just read the article, but it's very, very, very interesting, right? Like they came from California and now they're packing up to leave because, well, it didn't work out. And that's what will continue to happen, you guys. Like if, and I'm talking about Rochester, right? But if you're in any other city, right? The city should focus on building businesses from their actual city. It's that simple. If you are creating a business in the city that you live, in the community that you live, you're more likely to hire from the community that you live in, and you're more likely to keep your business in the city. Like, how difficult is it? It's very distressing that our city is so focused on non-local stuff and non-local solutions, because that's the next thing, right? All of the solutions that you hear coming out of city council are, oh, let's go to California, or, oh, let's go down to Washington, D.C. and see what they're doing. No, the whole nation is fucked up, okay? You're trying to do success from where? From, we've got a new program that is starting now, the Office of Neighborhood Safety, which is not even that, but I'm not going to go into it. I appreciate Dr. Oh my goodness. I forget how to pronounce his name and I don't want to say it wrong. You know who you are. I love you, guy. You're awesome. But it's a little bit insane because this whole prospect comes from California, in a city. I forget what the name of the city is off the top of my head today because I wasn't actually thinking about talking about this. Maybe it's Fremont. I don't know for sure, but the concept comes from out there somewhere. And where that concept comes from, they have the highest crime rate around all the other cities. And they're like, well, it's a major success story. Over the last 10 years, crime has gone down. Except you're still the highest in crime all the way around your neighborhoods. I mean, all the way around your similar communities in the area right outside there. So it's, I don't know, man. The whole concept of the thing is to pay people, not to shoot people. And I'm like, I don't shoot people. Where's my check? I'm just saying. Or maybe Austin, maybe you should move to the city.
Yeah.
Start shooting people.
Okay.
And then they'll pay you to stop shooting people.
Well, there you go.
Right?
All right. I got to go. I got things to do, I guess.
You know, I mean, right? If they're doing that for criminals, right?
Yeah. No.
Well,
look, they're not paying me.
Maybe they should pay off they should pay cops that have all interactions with people that are aggressive or considered, I don't know, what's the term that they're calling these things now, Austin, with the police brutality or anything like that. Maybe they should pay the police officers off too. And they should pay them not to put their hands on people. I mean, we're following that level of logic, right? So, I mean, I think that makes just about a little bit of sense. But again, this goes to them putting for solutions from outside of our actual locality. It's problematic, man. I'm tired of them coming up with ideas from 50 million, wherever the hell they're coming from, places that aren't actually Rochester. Then they actually want to do all types of studies and stuff and say, and I'm sure that in a lot of you guys' city, this is a similar thing that goes on where you guys are. Um, but it's honestly, it's crazy. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. But back to the mayor. She said she pled guilty, right? And she got a big plea deal. She was going to be in trouble for all types of crimes with her husband, who's out here in our city dealing drugs, selling crack, cocaine, and powdered cocaine. I wonder how much fentanyl he was involved with putting on the streets as well. Just the questions I have to ask. She said that she didn't know that he was stashing drugs in her house. This isn't me talking bad about her. I just want you guys to know these are facts. She said she didn't know it was in her house. Hey, man, you didn't know the guns were there. You didn't know the other stuff was there, and you didn't know what your husband was doing. I mean, it's okay. You're the mayor of our city, and you didn't know that the issue with Daniel Prude, which turned into another national event, happened either. I can't. You guys, like, I don't hold anything against her, even though I'm sure that if that most people that are listening do, or most people in the city take a lot of issue with some stuff that happened, but she needs to make sure that when these type of things happen, that she's on top of it, because she's the mayor, right? Like, she's our leader, right? And that was my whole issue with her trials and tribulations that she had, because she would consistently be like, I don't know. Every time something happens, she doesn't know. That's not good, yo. Her husband got indicted and was being sought after for what was it? A sting operation that they were doing on some other people. He got caught up in it because he's out there selling crack cocaine. I'm not going to get over that, because I have personal family history with crack, and it's not good, you guys. And if any of you guys have experienced opioid addiction and stuff like that, then you know what it's like, except think about that and 10 times worse. Okay. Multiply that by 10. That's crack. Okay. Think about somebody that's on meth, double that. That's how it is. Okay. It's really bad. All right, you guys. And the fact that her husband was selling it and she didn't know anything. Well, I mean, we also have the defund the police movement going on here. And like I said, we had the Daniel Prude thing. All of these things are on the national news, and it's terrible because Rochester, I don't know, man. You guys know what? I love my city. Maybe I love it a little too much, because it seems like I don't see the same level of concern for the progress in our city that other people who are running for office have, and or people who are elected. And I just don't know why they don't have that zeal for our city, that caring for our city. Like, I just don't understand it. It's odd to me. We had a leader who was presented with this information that this guy was ended up dead after being in police custody, after he went to the hospital, because he died in the hospital, which they had let him out from. That's a whole separate conversation that really needs to be talked about, but nobody wants to talk about that. Okay. And that was the U of R. And the U of R just fired all of the teachers that were not, I mean, not the teachers, but the teachers too, but because they do have a university. But the medical personnel that they have, because they wouldn't get vaccinated, or allegedly vaccinated, because it's not even really a vaccination. It's just a shot, because a vaccine is supposed to prevent you from catching something. And this doesn't do that. It doesn't prevent you from transmitting it, and you can still catch it, and you still can die from it. Even though, remember, without the cocktails themselves, you have a 99.8% likelihood of survival. If in the rare case you catch it, you almost 100% are going to live. I don't know why this is even out there, honestly, but that's a whole nother thing. And I was very disappointed, because I go out to the rallies and stuff for the medical freedom and choice, and rallies against mandates and stuff like that, because mandates are wrong, you guys. If you want to take this stuff that they're telling you to pump in your body for a virus that has a 99.8% survival rate, of people who contract it, you go ahead and you do that. I support you putting anything in your body that you want as long as it's not harming or hurting anyone else. Okay? I mean, it's just that's the way that I feel, you know? I mean, that's my beliefs and my truth. Like, you shouldn't force this type of stuff on anybody. Like, if you told me that this thing, everybody that's catching it is dying, like it's got 100%, it's got a 98% death rate, then we're talking a different story. Until people start dropping dead in the street, like, okay, this is not a thing. This is not the bubonic plague, you guys. Like, they try to make it way more than it is. If you look at New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, and other places, they're like, yeah, no, we're going to lift all the restrictions. We're not doing this anymore because it's not really working and it's going to be here with us forever. So why are you giving up your rights, your liberties, and your freedoms for something that's going to be with us forever? Oh, wait, you know what else? I remember the previous presidency, and he got on the TV and he said, you know, it's going to stick with us just like the common flu, and it's going to end up being just like that. And they were like, no, it's not going to be like that. That's never going to happen. You guys, is that not exactly what we're experiencing right now? They're telling us it's going to be just like the flu. It'll be here every year, and you'll need a booster shot every year, sometimes 2 per year. You guys. And then they're forcing people to get it that don't want it. You got so many medical professionals that don't want it. You should be asking questions, people. Why do these people that work in the medical field not want this stuff? Like, out of everybody, they should know. Then you're going to tell the people in the medical profession, the doctors, the nurses and stuff, that they don't know the science? Bro, our country is broken. We're in tatters right now, and people need to stand up. And if you don't see what our government is doing to us, you haven't been paying attention. You know, the show is Made in America. I'm going to tell you guys something. My original intention with this podcast was to bring in different people from different aspects and different runs of life that have been able to start businesses or open businesses and give it business advice and stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to call it Made in America. But when I started to do my podcast, our whole country just decided to lose its raggedy mind. Like, I don't know what's going on with the current administration right now, but they're putting out things that go against what many of the doctors are saying. You saw the FDA the other day was like, nah, people don't need boosters. And then they're like, oh yeah, the people need the boosters. Biden got on TV. He's like, people need the boosters. Everybody got to get the boosters. If you don't get the boosters, you're a terrible, horrible person and you should die. This man, y'all. This man. Okay, then Fauci changed what it means to be fully vaccinated. Now, you're not fully vaccinated unless you had all 18 of the boosters. Are you serious? And I remember that many of you people out there who took the vaccine, the first 2 shots, said that you weren't going to get the boosters. Now let's see what you do. Because they told you that there wouldn't be any boosters necessary, and now there are. All I'm saying is none of this shit makes any sense. Nobody's saying anything, and nobody's standing up. The few people that are standing up, there's just not enough people. Like, in everywhere else in the world, like, they're tearing shit up, over trying to halfway overthrow their government because they're freaking messing everything up. Australia has become a prison colony for a second time. You can't go out your house. You can't go visit anybody. You can't even get any damn food. In America, they've cut off our transport, so we can't get any ships in. We can't get anything at the docks, but the governor of New York wants to bring in the medical brigade from the National Guard to go and staff these hospitals. Let me tell you something right now. I don't know anybody, okay, that knows anything about the military or the National Guard that would tell you that we have enough people in there that have medical experience that would be able to offset this. So, you know, her idea was, let's give the illegal immigrants and any foreigners that are not citizens that do not have qualifications for New York to be healthcare professionals. This shit is outrageous, you guys. And I don't know why more of you guys aren't up in arms, aren't telling your friends and your family that this is wrong. You guys aren't standing up for your rights. I'm out here every day talking about this stuff, working on this stuff. I'm running for city council specifically for the issue because I care about our future, not just of our city, but of our nation. You guys, come on now. What's going on in America is wrong. I was on an interview on the WXXI Evan Dawson show yesterday. Was it yesterday? Today's Tuesday, right? So yesterday, and he asked me some questions about that stuff. I wasn't really thinking about talking about that stuff because what's that got to do with our city, right? And I said, some of the stuff that we've been doing, maybe we can consider alternative ways or whatever. And you see what's been happening in what's happened in India and stuff like that, where they gave out the little preemptive kits and that helped them very much. And I know they said, was it Uttar Pradesh or whatever it is? They were like, oh, well, it worked really good over there. But no, it worked in other places too. Come on, you guys. And then they're like, oh, well, ivermectin, God. You guys. Like, I don't know if ivermectin works or not. It seems like it's been giving people very good chances and helping them with not only recovery, but preventative measures. Now, I'm not one who's going to take something really preventative, but that's like as far as a pill goes, because again, 99.8% survival rate. And I don't have pre-existing conditions and stuff like that. So I'm not with it. But I just wish more of you guys would stand up. Please encourage your friends, your families, and everybody to stand up. I read a email the other day from Gates Chilai High School, which, I mean, well, schools here, it's all really one thing. And they sent out a letter saying that now kids are going to have to scan QR codes when they're at lunch to say who they've been around, where they've been, and all this crazy shit. Excuse my language. And I said, you know what? I said, here's an interesting thing about that, right? The school has roles. Not only does the school have roles, any of you guys that have ever been to school know that people take attendance when you get to class, right? And then everybody has a schedule, right? And all the people that have a lunch schedule go to lunch at about the same time, right? So if you know everybody in the school, everybody in each class, why do you need them to document all who they've been around? Come on now, you guys, this is privacy, safety concerns on the utmost level. Okay, because soon they're going to have them recording who they've been around at home and who they've been around outside and all of this and all of that. It is grooming. The same way that you would groom a human trafficked person, the same way that you would groom a sex slave, the same way that you would groom somebody for a cult. This is not good. It's not righteous, and it's not just. I think I forgot I was talking about the lovely Warren thing, and it just kind of got all the way out there, Austin.
Yeah, it's fine. You went down a tangent.
But yeah, so my city should be on the TV for positive things. But right now we're working on restoring Rochester because Rochester, we need assistance, but it has to come from our elected officials that are willing to act. And most of them just seem to want to go along to get along. And that's disappointing. Let's check out some of the stuff that people are saying as we're going on. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit, Austin. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Okay, this is where we're starting. Okay, Barbara says, just like Joe Biden doesn't remember getting advice from his military. Oh my God, bro. Joe Biden? Some sort of a gnat or something was just by my face. Joe Biden not listening to his military advisors? Or how about the generals? Okay, I recommended that we should, Milley, right? That was Milley, right? That recommended that we should keep 5,000 troops in there. The whole thing is crazy, you guys. The whole thing is crazy. Like, he didn't listen to his advisors. He didn't listen to his generals. And then they locked up Captain, whatever his name was, for standing up and speaking out about it. He's like, you guys, I don't know whose decision this was, but nobody stood up against this. And this was just a really bad idea. And they were like, fuck you, guy. You're going to jail. Excuse my language. Okay. They're like, you're going to jail. You're going to jail for speaking up against the rank and file leadership and expressing your concern for your fellow citizens and your fellow soldiers. You guys, I put up a post earlier. I don't know if you guys follow my personal page on Facebook, or if you guys follow, which is Marcus Williams, or if you guys follow my my political page, which is Marcus C. Williams. On my personal page earlier, I said, I said this has got to be the worst administration that I have lived through in my life, and I wasn't a fan of Biden. And Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is trash. He has no spine, no backbone, and is made of jello. Okay? Because he won't stand up, man. He wouldn't stand up to anything. He's just going along. We need a whole episode just to talk about the way that they're tearing up our military, forcing people to be dishonorably discharged because they don't want to take this cocktail in their arm, as if the Army doesn't have a history of experience of experimenting on its soldiers. You guys, I love you all. I love our nation. Our country is extremely important to me. The way I see our nation going right now, it's not the right direction. We need to vastly and drastically change course. And I want to let anybody know that's in New York State right now, and I wish I had the paper so I can flip it over to show you guys. If you are in New York State right now and you can hear my voice and it is before November 2nd, okay, you go and you take your ballot and you turn that bad boy over after you've checked your people to vote and voted for Marcus C. Williams if you're in Rochester. But you turn the ballot over and you vote no on every single proposition on the back of it, bro. And sis. Okay. And anybody that doesn't identify as either of those things, okay? I'm not a pronouns guy. I will call you by your name. So if you have an issue with pronouns, please tell me your name, okay? Because I'm just not doing it. It's too complicated. Stop making things complicated because people want to be supportive. When you make things complicated, it's too complicated. Just give me your name. I'll call you your name all the time. I don't even think that I reference most people by their name or by pronouns. I just directly address them. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, the direction our country is going is sorely the wrong one. On New York State, on the back of the ballot, they've got gerrymandering. Do you agree with gerrymandering? Yes or no? Ho-ho! You got to say no to that, you guys. We should have automatic absentee balloting universally, and they should automatically be sent out. You guys, that's not good. They've also got same-day voter registration. Same-day voter registration. In a state that doesn't have ID checks for voting. In a state that barely has signature verification for voting. This is not good, you guys. This is not good at all. So when you get your ballot, if you're in New York State, flip that bad boy over afterward and check no, 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 and no. Okay? Because it's a setup, you guys. If they don't think that you're going to get out and vote because they think that a lot of you guys are still concerned about what happened last year with the elections. If you do not get out there, this will be the last year that we ever had the option in New York State of almost having a fair election. Please go vote. Tell your friends. I don't care if you don't live in New York State. Tell your friends in New York State, okay, that they need to go vote and they need to go turn over their ballots and that they need to vote no on everything that's a proposition or a proposal on the back of the ballot because it's trash, y'all. It's trash. They've even got some on there that sound good or sound innocuous, but they're not. Or not innocuous. What's the word I'm looking for, Austin?
Innocuous. Yeah.
Innocuous, right?
Yeah.
That's the second definition of it, I think. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what else is going on here in there. Yeah, Lavelle, they're making shit up as they go, dude. It's crazy. Excuse my language, you guys. Why is it that immigrants like myself that need to teach American? It's right. Nigel, thank you for that very, very, very serious point. Nigel is from the UK, okay? And this man is a true American patriot, like the founding fathers, even though some of them were less than good on all levels, but still heroes of our nation, okay? Okay, which is a separate conversation for a whole nother podcast. But I really like refugees that got their refugee papers to come into our country. And I really like legal immigrants who have gone through the right processes to come to our country. Because most of them, and I like to just use a general term of new Americans to cover most of them, even though some of them have been here for a while, as they go to get their citizenship, because a lot of them right now don't even have citizenship. But it's crazy because they care more about our country, our values, our history, and everything than American citizens. We've got people out here who are American citizens talking about how much they hate America and stuff like that. Leave, bro, leave. The Secretary Mayorkas was on the TV the other day. He's like, we're expecting 400,000 illegal immigrants to cross the border in October. 400,000 illegal immigrants to cross the border. No, no, it's your job to stop that. Okay? It's your job to stop that. It's your job to prevent that, because we have people on refugee lists waiting in camps that are horrible conditions. Okay? And you're letting all of these illegal immigrants in? It's wrong. But anyway, again, just showing you how much people will risk to come to this country that people say that they hate so bad. I'm just telling you, everybody can get the hell out this bad boy. I love my nation. It might not be right. It might not be perfect, but I swear to all things good, bad, and indifferent that I'm going to do my darndest to make sure that I improve our nation. Okay? Even if it's just improving on myself and me being the change that I want to see in the world, that's where I'm going to start. Like Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror and make a change. And for other comments from Michael Jackson, here are some of Michael Jackson's quotes on the government. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. And be careful what you do before the lie becomes the truth. And that's what we're living in right now. We're living in a lie that has become the truth. The other day, yesterday, while I was on the show, there was a meeting for not city council, but for the heads of all of the different little things that city council does and stuff like that. So each person gets a different committee heads meeting, right? And somebody brought up the county possibly looking into ivermectin. And again, like I said, support it, don't support it, I don't care. I don't have a horse in that game. I just find it very interesting that Merrick is releasing anti-COVID-19 pill shortly after they got rid of ivermectin. Does that strike anybody else's eye? I mean, they're even the same color, right? But they'll make more money off of this, won't they? Because it's specifically for COVID-19. We've got to make it for COVID-19. It's got to say this so we can get all the money from the government that they are not going to give to the people, that they're going to give to us, the corporations who run America, because Big Pharma is one of the biggest lobbies in our nation. Big Pharma, as you've seen this year, how many recalls have we had? We've got Zantac, the heartburn medicine, which has been on the shelf for 20, 30 years, maybe more. It was been on the TV the whole time I've been alive. Okay. And that got recalled. They recalled, what else did they recall this year, Austin? Baby powder and 50 other medicines.
Oh yeah, everything.
And I saw the other day that again, there's an issue with formula. But then they recalled about 5 or 6 other drugs. And it's funny, right? Because we talk about companies that are manufacturing the vaccine, excuse my language, manufacturing the cocktails. And you see how many recalls that Pfizer has had and how many lawsuits that Pfizer has had over these things. And Pfizer is the preeminent cocktail that they're out here trying to convince people to get. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But for me, seems like money. They're giving away billions and billions of dollars. And you wonder why people are going along with this? It's sad, man. It's really sad. And they brainwashed everybody so bad. So many people Okay, they brainwash them so bad that if you bring up a different point, or if you bring up an alternate study, or if you talk about somebody who is in a medical profession that says these things about it that don't match the whole agenda that is being pushed in the media right now, they'll cancel you or they'll shut you down or they'll call you crazy, a kook, or a conspiracy theorist or whatever. When I was on the radio yesterday, a lady called in and she was like, "Oh, you're talking about ivermectin." First of all, no, I wasn't. I was talking about what India was doing. The question was on mandates and stuff like that. I was not talking about ivermectin. I rarely ever talk about ivermectin. Okay? So no. And then some guy was like, "Oh, it's horse medicine, whatever." No. It was approved by the FDA for human use, and then they pulled it from the shelves because everybody was buying it up because they found that it was effective for what was going on. Okay? I don't know, because I guess independent study isn't science anymore. You know? I mean, listen, if you are not able to question science, it's not science. It's not. The whole concept of science: come up with a hypothesis, test a hypothesis, see if it's right or wrong, which, now here's the interesting thing about science. Do you know that a hypothesis can never be right? Yes. The basic core concept of science says that a hypothesis can never be right under any circumstance. It can only either be not wrong yet or wrong. That's how science works. And if you've ever looked into the field of quantum physics, you fastly realize that quantum physics teaches you that all other science that you have ever learned in your life has been a lie. So yeah, so that's a thing. So let's go to some comments. Let's see what we got going on here. I see it kicking up. Yeah, science is real. Who we've got here? Hey Marcus, Google who paid the biggest fine in. Okay, so somebody's out here saying Google who paid the biggest fine for a criminal fine in history, and that was Pfizer. I forget how much it was, but it was a shit ton of money. You know, enough to make a real dent. I think it was how much was it? Do you know, Austin? Can you check that out?
That was 330
Billion, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
pounds.
330 billion. Did you say pounds?
Yeah.
Pounds?
Yeah.
330 billion pounds?
Yeah.
So you mean like $66 billion in American?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Excuse my language. Apology for taking the Lord's name in vain. Scroll up a little bit. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, Lavelle. So they're canceling Christmas, right? Fauci got on the TV and he's like, "Christmas is canceled." Because that's the type of dude that he is, except he's also the same type of dude that's like Governor Newsom, rules for thee and not for me. So he doesn't follow that shit. He's a doctor, right? I mean, he's the head of, what's he the head of? I don't even know what, the infectious disease control or some nonsense. What's he the head of?
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't even remember. Because Bricks was the head of the NIH, right? And she's done now.
Yeah.
And now there's the other dude who or wait, is this other guy that's retiring today, the head of it? I don't know, man. The agencies are so convoluted, you can't tell anymore. You don't know who's for what. You just get up on TV, turn TV on, and you see the talking heads. Okay? Not for nothing, dude. If you're telling people to put 2 masks on and people aren't questioning it and jumping up and down and saying this is a madman on the television, just put duct tape on your mouth and nose and call it a day, you guys. I'm just too done. Oh, he's the head of Christmas. Elizabeth says he's the head of Christmas. That's awesome. I guess so now, because he's canceling Christmas. Don't fly and don't go travel America because, you know, you'll spread the virus. You'll spread the virus, which I am telling you on a daily basis is going into remission and you're not seeing it as much anymore. You know, he said that the other day. He said that this what did he call it? That this wave is going down, but there will be more waves in the future. It's coming to get you, and you're gonna have to get new shots because the shots that you have right now aren't gonna work. No, this is what he said. So if the shots that I'm getting now aren't gonna work for the future, and it's got a 99.8% of survival rate right now. Why in the flippity flop are you mandating people to take it? Because gee golly gosh, right? Who knows what the side effects are going to be if you come up with some new cocktail and inject it into people who have had the old cocktail? How many issues do people have with drug side effects by mixing drugs every day? You know, like my friend, she takes like 2 or 3 medications, and when the medications are combined at the same time, she's not able to function. Like the stuff that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Like it's just like I'm not able to give people critical thinking lessons for our whole nation. All I can tell you is that those of you who know better need to stand up and don't be quiet about it. Be loud about it. Don't go and tear shit up. That's what people on the left do and the anarchists do. That's not what we do. Okay. But you got to stand up. You got to encourage your friends, your family, and everybody else to stand up. I know so many people who didn't want to get the cocktail, but were forced to get the cocktail because they were trying to make a decision for providing for their kids and their livelihood versus getting an injection of a cocktail that they don't even know what the hell's in it. The people who are administrating it don't know what the hell's in it. The fact that there are no inserts in them, nobody knows what the hell's in it. The companies won't tell you what the hell's in it. And people who have magnified the cocktails under microscopic lenses 400 times are saying that they're seeing all types of stuff in here that shouldn't be in there. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a 400 times amplification microscope. Also, the question is that if it has to be stored at negative 90 degrees Fahrenheit, is it Fahrenheit or Celsius? Fahrenheit, right? Yeah. So if it's going to be stored at negative 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and a human body is 98 degrees Fahrenheit, that's like a 200-degree difference, you guys. Why does it have to stay in the freezer like that? What happens to it if it comes out? We need to be looking at these things under microscope, seeing what the hell is going on, because something is awry. And even if you're to say, like a couple of years ago, there was a flu vaccine. I want to say it was 2004, 2005-ish, something like that, where they got rid of the whole batch of flu vaccine because it came from England, and they found out that it had cancerous materials in it that got in there mistakenly. Gee golly gosh, Austin. I'm just saying. So if in all, we are supposed to make everything equal, everything being equal, if so many people are experiencing these ill side effects, I don't have the VAERS numbers in front of me today, the VAERS numbers. You can go look those up online, to which they say that they don't report but 10% of the ill side effects that people experience because it takes 30 minutes to fill out the document to do that. It's insane. So who knows how many people actually are having ill side effects? But couldn't the ill side effects be due to manufacturing process too? Like if you really, truly believe, right? Shouldn't you still want them to investigate these side effects? Shouldn't you not say blindly, oh no, there are no side effects. It's not hurting anybody. Nobody's dying from it. Shouldn't you say, wait a second. These are companies and people who are human, who are fallible. Maybe we should look into this if it's having an effect and an impact on so many people. But nobody's doing that. Like this is an American-made crisis. This crisis has been made in America. You guys, I love my country, but we are going very firmly and very fastly down a horrible path that we will not be able to recover from. So if you need to... Let me take a breath because I'm getting extremely passionate because this is so concerning to me, because I am so concerned that following what's going on in the world, that at some point it might get to the point where people will either have to take a shot or get shot. Okay. And the fact of the matter is if they say you got to get a shot or you got to get on a train, not getting on a train, not getting your damn shot, because now you're on the 50th fucking shot, and now you want me to get this whole panel of shots? No, why am I taking a whole panel of shots? You guys, why would you ever? Yo. Why on earth would you take a whole panel of shots if you're just getting the shots? And remember, they haven't changed what's in the shots. They haven't changed any of the makeup of the shots or anything. Same fucking shot, excuse my language. Same shot. Again. That they say is not effective against Delta. And then Fauci was like, it's not really effective against Delta, so everybody that's gotten the vaccine should put on 5 masks and stand on their head and dance upside down and cry out Bloody Mary. Okay, he didn't say all that last part, but he did say that it's not effective against the Delta variant. But none of the tests test for the Delta variant. Okay, none of them. They don't even really test. I'm about to say something that might get us canceled. Let me not tell the truth too much on here, okay? Even though I've been told that I've got full autonomy on what I talk about on my show. But the fact of the matter is this, right? If Fauci said that it doesn't work against Delta, and then like 3 weeks later, he's like, oh no, it works against Delta. Better than not having anything. And a condom will protect you against catching a bullet to your head. Because, it's more effective than nothing when it comes to protection. I don't know, you guys. It's just nonsensical. They, like Lavelle said, noted, they are making this up as they go. They really are. And you have to sit here and think about it because I love science, right? I love science. Bro, I've got experiments that are still going on right now from when I was 5. Okay? They're not ready to be completed yet. I'm waiting for them to age so that they're done. So I have been, bro, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh my goodness. Just so many people have been so heavily influential as far as my science stuff. Oh, shout out to Mr. Wolf, my teacher at Wilson. When I was there, my science teacher, he's fantastic. Shout out to Mr. Okino. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for everything. For real. Okay, you guys are awesome. And Mr. Wolf used to be on the TV doing after school stuff on PBS. So that's how I first ran across him when I was, Jesus, he was on the TV for a while doing that. I think it was like elementary school when I saw him on there. Wow. Like, and then he ended up being my teacher in high school. That was really kind of cool. I really liked him. He's really good. Him and Mr. Okino. Mr. Okino is really awesome too. But yeah, man, you guys, I love science. And what's going on right now is not science. Science does not change that much. I'm going to explain to you how science changes. This is what happens. If science is changing every week, every couple of days, they're like, oh, we're just finding out new stuff. We're just finding out new stuff. No, what that means is that your hypotheses have been, is it hypotheses or is it hypotheses? Hypotheses have been completely and utterly wrong every single time. That's the only way that the science changes. Okay? The earth is round or the earth is flat. The science only changes so much. Okay? Is it flat or is it round? Me personally, I don't care. Okay? I don't care whether the earth's round or flat. That makes no difference in my life. None. Zero. Okay? But you know what? Remember the scientific community? They had it where you used to be, if you said that the earth was round, they'd burn you at the freaking stake. Then all of a sudden, the earth is round and everybody knows the earth is round. And now if you say the earth is flat, they'll burn you at the freaking stake. What in the Jiminy Jam is going on in our world right now, especially in our country? If somebody tells you that the science is changing that much, they are lying to you. Lying. Frick, frack, and fram it. Okay, I'm doing my best not to curse you guys. We're gonna hit up this message board real quick, a couple seconds. Let's see. At the Bills game, they did random stops for vaccine passports. Oh, you guys, don't get me started on the vaccine passports. If your local elected officials don't stand up against the vaccine passports, because this is all about privacy and curtailing all of your movement and everything that you can possibly do, who you can be around, where you can go. And let's just say you say something that the government doesn't like. They can automatically go on the computer, shut your shit down. Say, oh no, you've got a fault, you've got a positive, and it's a daggone lie. It's happened in China. We've seen it happening over there. Okay. So it's real serious. Like, we cannot let the government do these things. Like, vaccine passports are bad. Vaccinated, unvaccinated, doesn't matter. Everybody should be standing against vaccine passports, because the government should never be tracking everywhere you're going at all time, who you're around, where you go, how often you go there, how long you stay there, and all of that, because that much amount of data collection is just far too much. Far too much, and far too dangerous in the hands of the government, which can't even protect your regular data and information. They can't protect your social security card number. They can't protect your driver's license. All of that information has been stolen over the years by China anyway. And now you want to give them all this additional data for them to what? At best, let it get stolen? Or at worst, use it to harm you, your family, and corral you, your family, and future generations the direction that they want you to go. I'm very passionate about this subject, because I really feel that we are close to the fall of our nation if we do not stand up right now. And if you're in New York State, flip that daggone ballot. Go vote. Go vote. If you're in New York State, November 2nd, or in early voting, or mail-in balloting, however you vote, when you get your ballot, flip that bad boy over and write no, 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 no. Circle no on all of those things. Fill it in the hole. Okay? Gerrymandering, same day voter registration. So you could go in and vote at 20 different polls. Okay. If you wanted to, you just sign up, register there, and then it won't go into effect until who knows when, and nobody will ever check it, because we don't have the resources to check it. The gerrymandering, the same day registration, universal absentee balloting. You guys, this shit is wrong. Okay. And it'll make this one of our last elections that we have that is almost halfway fair. I hope that I'm imparting that enough on you guys. If you know somebody that lives in New York, you tell them that they need to get out and vote for our nation. Okay? This is not just about New York and New York right now. This is about the fate of our nation, our future generations, and the direction that we are going. Let me hit this message board before we take off here tonight. Let's see. What we got? Prozac Nation all over again. Yeah, this time with COVID-19, many of the same pharmaceutical companies involved robbed folks of all their mental faculties and physical sense of self. That's it. That's all it is. They're drugging up the nation. They're drugging them up with all types of Lord knows what. Didn't they just get in trouble, all of these, like these large pharma companies, for the opioid crisis? Like, it's crazy, right? Like, this is insane, right? Like, you guys, big pharma bad. Like Martin Shekel, right? Martin Shekel, did I say his name right? Wu-Tang?
Yeah, definitely. Sure.
Because he really liked Wu-Tang. He bought their album that was gold plated or something for like $30,000. I don't know, man. Anyway, so he put up the price of a drug for AIDS like 1,000% or some nonsense like that. And people got mad at him, and he's like, why are you mad at me? Everybody else does it. And he was right, you guys. Everybody else does it. These companies are making billions and billions of dollars hand over fist. This is not about science, you guys. This is about money. Cut off the money, and I bet you that shit changes real quick. As a matter of fact, I bet you if the U.S. government said that they are no longer giving money for vaccines, they are only giving money for homeopathic medicines that will treat the symptoms and the virus itself, they're only giving money to to places that are serving healthy food and selling healthy food. If they're only giving money to gyms and exercise places and people who are teaching stuff like that, I bet you the pharmaceutical companies will change their tune overnight. And why are they charging us billions of dollars when they got billions of our money to create the daggone drug to begin with? America should be paying cost at best, because remember, they're selling it off around the world for money, not giving it away for free. And they won't let the World Health Organization or anybody see their notes, any of the deep infrastructure and research or anything that goes into making these things, even though it came from our taxpayers' money. But I mean, hey, And honestly, this wasn't the show that I had planned for you guys today. There was so much else I really wanted to cover, but you guys, time is short. And I want to encourage you to stay strong and stand strong. I know many of you out there feel disheartened and are concerned. I am too. And there are so many others like us. But we have to stand up. We have to speak up. And don't shut up. You guys be blessed and be well. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Marcus C. Williams, Made in America. Catch you guys later.